Mount Vesuvius last erupted in 1944. Right now, 800,000 people live inside what scientists officially call the red zone, the area that would be incinerated if it erupts again. The Italian government has an evacuation plan. It requires 72 hours. Scientists estimate they may get as little as 2 weeks of warning. And almost nobody is leaving. This isn't unique to Italy. All over the world, millions of people have made a calculated decision to live in places that science says they shouldn't. This is the story of 7 of those places and the reason why, every single time, people choose to stay. Naples sits 9 kilometers from Vesuvius, one of the most dangerous volcanoes on Earth. The Naples region actually sits on top of not 1 but 3 active volcanic systems: Vesuvius, Campi, Flagra, and Ischia. Scientists call it the highest volcanic risk area in the world. More than 3 million people live within 20 kilometers of a possible eruption. The last major eruption in 79 AD buried Pompeii under 20 feet of ash. The people had no warning at all. So, why do Neapolitans stay? The answer is the same one that's driven humans to dangerous places for 4,000 years: the land. Volcanic soil is the most fertile on Earth. The slopes of Vesuvius grow tomatoes so rich they've been exported across Europe for centuries. The mild climate, natural harbor, and stunning coastline created one of the great civilizations of the ancient world, and people have never stopped coming back. Mount Merapi in Java, Indonesia, has been erupting almost continuously for centuries. Its last major eruption in 2010 killed hundreds of people and displaced 350,000. Indonesia has 130 active volcanoes, more than any country on Earth. The government estimates more than 5 million people live within the danger zones of its volcanoes. Merapi sits just 28 kilometers from Yogyakarta, a city of 3.7 million people. Tens of thousands of villages are built less than 8 kilometers from its summit lava dome. Merapi sits just 28 kilometers from Yogyakarta, a city of 3.7 million people. Tens of thousands of villages are built less than 8 kilometers from its summit lava dome. The reason is identical to Naples' soil. Java's volcanic earth is so productive it supports 150 million people on an island roughly the size of New York State, one of the highest population densities on the planet. Farmers here have one of 2 choices: move to the city with nothing, or grow food on land that can feed a family year-round. Most choose the volcano. Dhaka, Bangladesh, floods almost every year. The country sits on the world's largest river delta, where the Ganges, Brahmaputra, and Meghna rivers all meet the Bay of Bengal. Every monsoon season, up to 60% of the country goes underwater. 23 million people live in Dhaka alone, one of the most densely populated cities on Earth. Entire neighborhoods are built on floodplains that have been underwater. Within living memory, scientists predict that by 2050, rising sea levels could displace 17 million Bangladeshis permanently. But Bangladesh is also the country that feeds itself. The same floods that threaten lives deposit millions of tons of nutrient-rich silt across the delta every year, making the land so fertile that farmers here grow 3 rice harvests annually. The floods that could kill you are also the reason you can eat. The San Andreas Fault runs 800 miles through California, directly beneath or next to every major city in the state. Los Angeles sits 10 miles from it. San Francisco was almost destroyed by it in 1906. Scientists call a major future quake the Big One. They estimate a 60% probability of a magnitude 6.7 or larger hitting Southern California in the next 30 years. 39 million people live in California. Almost none of them are leaving. The reason isn't just economic. Though California's $3.9 trillion economy is certainly part of it, it's cultural. California represents opportunity, reinvention, the Pacific, the American dream. Generations of families have built lives there. The risk isn't invisible. Californians know. They just decided the life is worth the danger. Tuvalu is a nation of 9 coral atolls in the Pacific Ocean. Its highest point is 4.5 meters above sea level. The ocean is rising. The land is sinking. Scientists estimate that Tuvalu could be entirely underwater within 50 to 80 years. 11,000 people live there. The government of Tuvalu has done something no government has ever done before. They've started building a digital version of their nation in the metaverse to preserve their culture. laws, and identity, even after their physical territory is gone. New Zealand has offered a pathway for Tuvaluans to relocate. Some are leaving, but many are staying. The Prime Minister himself said, "We have a right to exist as a nation. The ocean does not have the right to take that from us." For the people of Tuvalu, leaving isn't just moving house, it's the end of a civilization 3,000 years old. Norilsk, Russia, is the most northerly large city in the world. It also sits on top of one of the richest metal deposits ever found: nickel, copper, palladium. The city produces 35% of the world's palladium, the metal. Inside your car's catalytic converter and your smartphone. The cost? Norilsk is one of the most polluted cities on Earth. The air smells of sulfur. Trees don't grow within 30 miles of the city's smelters. The average life expectancy is 10 years shorter than the Russian national average. 175,000 people live here, many of them descended from prisoners of Soviet labor camps who were sent here to mine and never got to leave. Their children and grandchildren stayed. When the Soviet system ended, many had nothing to return to. Norilsk became home, not by choice, but by history. Jakarta, Indonesia's capital city of 10 million people, is sinking. Not slowly. Parts of North Jakarta are dropping 25 centimeters every year. The city extracts so much groundwater that the earth beneath it is collapsing. Scientists estimate that by 2050, 95% of North Jakarta could be permanently submerged. The Indonesian government made a decision. They're building an entirely new capital, city 1,400 kilometers away, called Nusantara. But relocating 10 million people isn't a project. It's a generation-long crisis. 7 places, 7 different dangers: volcanoes, floods, earthquakes, rising oceans, pollution, and sinking ground. But they all share one answer to the question: why do people stay? Because home is not a calculation. It's where your food grows, where your family is buried, where your identity was built. The risk is real. But for most people on this list, the alternative, leaving everything, is the greater loss. What would you choose? Let us know in the comments. And subscribe to see why more of the world's most dangerous geography is a lot closer to home than you think.